Alright, quick update on ApeCoin. So it's been an interesting day today for ApeCoin and specifically Yuga Labs. If you didn't hear, basically Elon Musk changed his profile pic to a screenshot of a bunch of these apes. For some reason, people thought this was bullish. I have a different opinion. I don't understand why people think this is bullish. He tweeted out as well, I don't know, seems kind of fungible. So it really seems to me at least, let me know your perspective on this. Elon's a troll. It really seems that Elon was trolling with this one. He is kind of trolling NFT holders. I wouldn't be surprised if, he doesn't get NFTs and he's just poking fun at it. Obviously, I'm pretty sure these aren't his. I do recognize some pretty iconic apes in here. And yeah, I don't think Elon owns these. I'm pretty sure he's just making fun of people. So what happened when Elon posted these Yuga Labs Bored Apes? And a lot of you might not draw two and two together, but just for those who don't know, I'm sure 90% of you do. ApeCoin is a project by Yuga Labs, the people who made, the Bored Ape NFTs, Mutant Ape Yacht Club NFTs, whatever they're called. And during this news, you can see here, this was round about 8 hours ago. This 4-hourly candle was only somewhat recently just opened, but basically this huge blow off wick was when Elon basically tweeted about Ape. So it was approximately 8 hours ago. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and as you can see, 8. As soon as this came about, everyone was like, oh my god, blah blah blah. The price just went absolutely crazy. So I mean, it looks like we had a pretty healthy retracement, depending on where you want to draw the bottom of the trend, depending on where you define the bottom of the trend for. To be fair, I should probably see if this came back to your 786. So yeah, this came back to your 786, so I'd say the bullish trend really started from down here. We've somewhat retested the 618. I mean, it doesn't look like we came down to anywhere really, but since then, we've dumped very harshly on ApeCoin. Basically, everyone pumped in the hour that Elon made this news. I'm pretty sure he made this tweet like half an hour or an hour after this, because I had people in my Discord saying, oh my god, Elon just posted this, and then I went over to his Twitter and then this only appeared like a couple of minutes later. So I think this was roughly maybe half an hour or so after he did this. You can see here Magic Eden tweeting them when Solana profile pic. I agree, look at my profile pic. If you come over to my Twitter, I'm just going to show my Twitter at this point, why not? How do I even find my profile? I don't use it here. But yeah, you can see if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's over here at 618_cowboy. This is my Solana NFT profile pic. To be honest, my YouTube profile pic as well is a Solana profile pic, and this is one of my favorite NFTs, which is also a Solana profile pic. So I'm going off on a tangent. We've been talking about NFTs, we've been talking about Solana, but yeah, we're talking about ApeCoin today. So obviously, the news with Elon pumped and dumped the market. Since then, we're really in a limbo. We're between a rock and a hard place. You look at this on the hourly time frame, and you can really see we're just kind of converging, getting constricted, and stuck between these spaces. I'm personally not looking to get in on ApeCoin right now. Let me show you something that's interesting though. So if we look at the hourly time frame, you will notice that as soon as we flipped bearish on the hourly time frame, this is when this bear trend started. On the hourly time frame from down here, let's go back a little bit more, you can see, technically we actually started bullish here and we had a fake out and then another breakout. So maybe the 1 hour doesn't work 100% of the time. You can actually see there's a lot of fake outs here, but nonetheless, at least in the past month or so, the 1 hour has very well defined the trend, and so far it's defined the downtrend on ApeCoin perfectly. Now, on the lower time frames, obviously the lower time frames you go into, the less validity it has, the less attention you should pay to it. But we are, you could consider that we could be about to W out. You can also say that we have flipped your 1 hourly EMA ribbons, which I obviously would agree with. We are above the 1 hourly EMAs. The short-term moving average is starting to move up. I don't think that this would cross until tomorrow, early tomorrow, coming into midnight, another 8 hours or so. I definitely say you've got a little bit of time before your hourly EMA closes. So we're not going to know really if we are flipping bullish on the lower time frames for quite some period of time. But looking at the 4-hourly time frames, you can also see the 4-hourly. I think this much better defines, although we also do have a fake out down here. So Ape isn't the perfect crypto that you can trade on the 4-hour. However, you know, you've got one bull run, this perfectly called the downtrend, which is why we actually sold ApeCoin over here at $13. We got back in once the trend flipped bullish around here. So we've only had one fake out, and so far it has planned out once, twice, ignoring this one, 3 times, 4 times, and then obviously you've got the 5th time, which was back here, that was a fake out. So 4 out of 5 times, you got about an 80% accuracy on these EMA ribbons. I'm a probability guy. I like that probability. So based on that, I personally wouldn't get bullish on ApeCoin until we do break back above the $16.90. And when I say I wouldn't get bullish on ApeCoin, bear in mind, I hold ApeCoin. I'm bullish on it in the long term, and by long term I mean over the next year or so. However, I did sell 25% of my ape once we came up to this $23. Like I said, I call it 23. It's technically $23.70 from this 1.618 Fibonacci retracement target. I had my DCA down here. Originally, I think I had my DCA up here at 1454. And I believe I let you know in a video and also the Discord that I was moving my stop loss down, not my stop loss, sorry, my buy order down to $13.77. And it is still down there, and very ironically, we came down to $13.88 while my buy order was at $13.75, 76, so literally like 10-12 cent off hitting my DCA before this big rally. I'm really not too worried. Like I said, I only sold 25% of my ape when we did come up to the $23 region. The rest of it, the other 75%, I personally am holding out for these higher price targets, which is approximately $32.70, which is your next fib target to the upside. It's your 2.618 fib. So I've positioned myself where I'm in a win-win situation for ape, and let me explain why. Hypothetically, we've got 2 situations. Well, we've got 3 technically. We could go sideways forever, but assuming we're not going to stay the same price forever, we're going to do 1 or 2 things, and it seems fairly obvious. We're going to move up or we're going to move down. What happens if we move down? Well, we come down and we hit my DCA, and I buy more ape for cheaper prices, so that's a win. I sold at $23.70, and I buy back in at $13.70, so I get a 42% discount. I would call that a win, especially because I want to hold some of my ape for the long term. So getting in at these cheaper prices means that what I can do is I can use some of the Bitcoin that I use to purchase ape, and I can put that to the side. So I can make sure I'm pulling profits and I pull out my initial investment, and then as I am bullish over ape over the next year, over the somewhat long term, once it rises, I can once again take those profits and I'm running on a free trade. So, you know, like I said, we're either going to move down and it's going to be a win because I'm going to get 42% cheaper ape, or we're going to break out and we're going to come up, and we're probably going to come all the way up to my $32.70. My point here is I've positioned myself very strategically in a way where I benefit from both situations. So I do, being completely honest, I do want to see ape come down to my DCA and hit my DCA and then rally. However, I let the price come to me. I decide where I get in the market. The market does not decide for me. I am not going to be chasing pumps. I talked about this in my Discord today because a lot of people ran in as soon as Elon posted this news, and they are currently in the water, or at least depending on when you got in. You know, a lot of people were talking about it up here at 17, 16, and you know, we've obviously fallen down below there since then. So we could be back up there in the next 4 hours. In the next 4 hours, we could be at $30 making new all-time highs, at least on the Coinbase chart. But like I said, if you were in this trade with me, congratulations, because we have positioned ourselves in such a way that we've walked away with profits. Worst comes to worst, we get to re-DCA in the market if we go back down, and if we go back up, we just pull more profits, and it's a win-win. So that's really all I've got for ape. Like I said, I'm going to be sitting on the sidelines. I'm personally not looking to accumulate ape if we do keep on rallying, even if we break bullish. Like I said, I've got my bags packed for ape. I'm holding 75% of it still. I do plan on selling approximately 50% of my ape, as we come up to this $32.68 region, meaning that out of my initial trade, I would have about 25% remaining, and I would ride those to much higher price targets, because at which point it would be a free trade and much more. So I'm really happy with the price action that we're seeing right now on Ape. If we come down to the hourly time frame, have we got... No, I almost thought I saw an inverse head and shoulders, and I mean, technically speaking, yes, but it's very, very ugly. You can see you've got a shoulder, head. Oh god. So I mean, I personally wouldn't call that valid. No, let's scratch that. I think that's way too wonky. So it looks more like a inverse head and shoulders on the 4 hourly time frame. If we draw it to the 4 hour, I mean, I would argue this is perfect actually. So yeah, we've got a perfect inverse head and shoulders on the 4 hourly time frame. This could definitely break us out to higher price targets. I don't know why it looks so decrepit on the 1 hourly time frame, but it is what it is. This is really bullish. You can see if this inverse head and shoulders breaks out of the neckline of $15.90, which we're currently hugging, then this will break us all the way out to $17.68. This would tie us up with where we previously topped out on this Elon pump and dump news, and in my opinion, another pushback above these EMA ribbons is probably very good. So at which point I'd like to see a rollover and continuation. Like I said, you know what I'm doing for ApeCoin. If we come down, I DCA at $13.70. If we go up, I continue. I've already got my my price order in the system, so I will be exiting 50% of my trade once we do come up to $32.70. So I've got 2 trades written onto my exchange of choice. Like I said, if we come up to $32, I pull some profits from the market. If we come down to lower price targets like $13.70, I simply re-DCA back into the market, and it's really as simple as that. So that's all I've got for ApeCoin. As always, if you did enjoy the content, the best way to let me know is leave a like and a comment down below letting me know you want more. Cowboy out, not financial advice, and most importantly, peace.